guys, welcome to Charmy's Bookcase, where I, Charmy Terrell, review and discuss books I've read. This week, I will be discussing the differences between the book Percy Jackson and Lightning Thief, written by Rick Riordan, and its 2010 movie adaptation by the same name. Now, I saw the movie when it first came out, and I actually liked it. Keep in mind, I was 13 at the time, so don't judge me. I hadn't read any of the books, so I had no idea what it was going to be about. All I knew is it had Greek mythology, and at the time I really liked Greek mythology, so I thought I'll give it a try. And still, after watching the movie, I still did not read the books afterward. Yeah, I completely forgot about it until Disney announced its TV show counterpart, so I decided to read the first book to see what all the hype is about. Yeah, it only took me like 14 years. But after reading the first book, I could see why fans were disappointed with the 2010 film. They changed a lot about the story, like a lot. I was reading and I was like, this never happened in the film, and I can see why. There is a lot that happens in this book, so they couldn't really fit everything in there. Some of the stuff they added I liked, but I feel like they cut too much out. I feel like if you're gonna add something that wasn't in the original story, the addition should at least strengthen the storyline, and I feel like it doesn't in this film. This video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't read the book and don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you stop watching now. Without further ado, let's get into it. The story follows a 12-year-old boy named Percy Jackson, who finds out his father is the Greek god Poseidon. He is forced to go to this camp called Camp Half-Blood, a summer camp for demigods like himself. Outside the camp, these kids are usually hunted down by vicious monsters and killed, but this camp has protective barriers that help aid them. He meets other demigods like Annabeth, the daughter of Athena, and Luke, the son of Hermes. The camp is a typical beat each other up camp you see in like every young adult novel. Though I guess it goes better with this book because these kids train their whole lives, building up strength, endurance, and stamina to one day be chosen on a historic quest to bring glory to their name, like the Greek heroes you read about growing up. But the odds of even getting chosen on a quest is very slim. The more powerful the godparent is, the more powers the offspring gives off, and the more likely monsters will come to attack. And it just so happens that Percy's father is one of the big three Greek gods. Not only does Perry have to fight off these monsters, but Zeus's lightning bolt gets stolen, and he blames Percy for it. Gods can't steal each other's powers, but they can have others do it for them, which is what Zeus thinks Poseidon did. Zeus and Poseidon apparently have beef, but like, let's be honest, Zeus has beef with everybody at some point. That dude is just a straight up asshole. As if being hunted by devilish monsters and being accused of thievery wasn't enough, Percy himself wasn't even supposed to exist. The big three, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, made a pact not to sire any more children because the children tend to be too powerful. In the past, a conflict ensued between them and caused World War II, with Zeus and Poseidon's children being on one side and Hades' children being on the other. And of course, Hades gets the short end of the stick. Typical. Now that is basically all the book and the movie have in common. Alongside coming to terms with Percy's new inheritance, he must clear his thieving name while fighting back a horde of hellish monsters on his ass. In the book, Percy is given a quest to go to Underworld, retrieve the bolt from Hades, and return it to Zeus, which I thought was a stupid idea. Percy handing back the bolt to Zeus doesn't quite excuse him from taking it. If anything, it does the opposite. And even if you say Hades had it, why would Zeus believe you? You have no tangible evidence, all you have is word of mouth. In the movie it's kinda different. He is still looking for the bolt, but he must collect these pearl-like gems to exit the underworld once they retrieve the bolt back from Hades. More like a treasure hunt / road trip storyline. Book Percy does receive pearls in the book, but he doesn't actively seek them out. They're just given to him. Not only that, but both in the movie and the book, Percy and his mother are attacked by a minotaur. The minotaur basically takes Percy's mother and sends her to Hades, which is another reason why he wants to go to the underworld, to save her. So Percy, who is 12 years old, sets off with his friends Annabeth and Grover, Percy's best friend and a centaur, on a dangerous mission to the underworld, and not one adult sees a problem in this. I feel like this is a lot to put on a bunch of preteens, and they have to get the mission done in like 10 days. I also like to add that I love that the entrance to the underworld is in Hollywood, where souls come to die. On their journey, they face many monsters. Like, seriously, he got attacked far more times in the book than the movie. Like, every 5 minutes, this guy was being attacked. He gets attacked on the bus by a Fury. He gets attacked by a Chimera. He gets attacked by Procrustes. who in Greek mythology attacks people by stretching them or cutting their legs off, which is what he tries to do to Percy and the gang. In both the book and movie, they bump into Medusa, defeating her and taking her head within like the first 5 minutes of seeing her. And I'm like, damn, can Medusa have one good ending? I just want a story where she has a happy ending. Is that too much to ask? She's always seen as the villain, and I'm just sick and tired of it. In the book, Percy sends Medusa's head to Zeus as like a victory cry, like, bitch, I ain't scared of you. Let his bitch ass wouldn't fly because he was too scared. I do like it in the movie that they kept Medusa's head as a weapon instead of sending it to Zeus. Also, this whole Hydra scene that you see in the movie never exists in the book, which I was sad because I actually did like that scene. It really reminded me of Hercules. Another thing I thought was a questionable change was the non-existent presence of Ares. In the book, Ares goes to Percy and asks him for a favor, and in return he will help Percy and his friends get to the underworld. The favor was to go to the Tunnel of Love, which I'm glad they actually didn't put in the movie. I didn't really care for the scene, but to take Ares out of the entire movie wasn't a great move. The whole movie they talk about war and war to come, but not once mention the god of war, I feel like was a dumb move. In return for Percy's help, Ares gives Percy a backpack, while in the movie it's Luke that gives Percy a shield. In both the film and the book, the group go to the Lotus Casino, eat a lotus flower that puts them in a state of bliss, never wanting to leave. The group finally snaps out of it, only to find out that they wasted so much time and that they only have one day to get the mission done. Percy and the gang finally make it to the underworld. The group has a little encounter with the Titans before seeing Hades, which I feel like the movie should have kept in, but the movie completely changed the book's original ending, so it probably doesn't even matter. Percy and the gang make it all the way to Hades just to find out he doesn't have the bolt. Percy realizes he's been tricked when it's revealed that the bolt was in the backpack Ares gave him. But since there's no Ares in the movie, the bolt was in the shield Luke gave him. In the book, Hades also accuses Percy of stealing his harem of darkness, which allows Hades to move through shadows and walls. At this point, if y'all really think this 12-year-old has the balls to steal from not just one god but two, you're tripping. In the movie, Hades attacks Percy and almost wins, till Persephone betrays him and lets Percy go. I like the book's version better, where Percy uses the 3 pearls to escape the underworld, leaving his mother behind, while in the movie, Grover sacrifices himself and gives his pearl to Percy's mother, leaving him in the underworld. In the book, after escaping Hades, Percy runs into Ares again, and the two fight. Ares is just about to kill him when another force intervenes and stops him from attacking, which I kind of feel was a cop-out. There was no reason not to kill him. He literally had every reason to kill him and just doesn't. Also in the book, Percy takes a plane back to Olympus, which I really thought was convenient, while in the movie, the pearls they use to escape the underworld take them right there, which I thought was better. How come you're scared to fly on your way to the underworld, but on your way back you're like, I'm gonna risk it, even though he has every reason to shoot you out the sky? I just thought that was like really weird. In the movie, there's a big fight between Luke and Percy, which also doesn't sit right with me because of Luke's motives.
Luke, why do you want a war of the gods? Control. They've been in power for too long. I say it's time for our generation to take over. Remold the world in our image. A world of new heroes.
I also think it's funny that in the fight scene, instead of just killing Percy, he gives him time to put on the flying shoes to fight him like one-on-one, and I'm like, why? You're the villain. You don't really care to fight fair, do you? In the end, Percy defeats Luke in the movie, and he makes it to Olympus. In both the book and movie, once he's there, he gives the bolt back to Zeus, and Zeus is like, okay. Doesn't really press him on anything, no follow-up questions, like literally nothing. In the book, it's revealed that it was the Titans that were manipulating Ares into doing his wrongdoings, while in the movie, there is no Titans and there is no Ares. Also in the book, Luke basically outs himself. He takes Percy far into the woods and basically confesses to stealing both the bolt and the helm, which I was like, why? Percy was suspicious, but he didn't have any hard evidence against him. Luke could have just gone away with this scot-free. Another thing I didn't get, and maybe some of you in the comments can help me, why did the Titans tell Ares not to kill Percy, just for Luke to try to kill Percy at the end with a poisonous scorpion? If the Titans wanted Percy dead, then why not just kill him with Ares? If Luke just needed to escape, he could just knock Percy out and leave. Was Luke's attempt to kill Percy like his own vendetta or something? Like, I was just really confused about that. Anyway, while Percy is stung by a scorpion, Luke escaped, Percy is found and saved, and besides Luke escaping, the story ends pretty happy. His mom returns from the underworld in the book, and in the movie, Grover gets returned. Overall, I somewhat enjoyed the book. I give it 3 stars. As a kid who knew nothing about the Percy Jackson series, I did like the movie, but as an adult who read the books, I can see the many problems many people had with it. The movie is basically a watered down version of the book, like really watered down, like 90% water and 10% book. I do prefer the book over the movie though. What'd you guys think of the book? What'd you guys think about the 2010 adaptation? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and hit that bell to be notified every time we drop new content. If you want to follow our social medias, they'll be linked in the description box below. Bye! See you next time!